All right, we are live. Let me get this tweeted out here. Da, 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 da. All right. Let's see what's going on, guys. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Let's see. We've got problem detected on Thinkorswim, but yeah, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Yeah, I was just looking at a couple different charts here. So wow, futures are actually down. Goodness gracious. Let's see if that actually holds overnight. Let's take a real quick look and see. S&P is only down 4 points. The S&P futures. Let's just take a look and see. Let's go down to the 15-minute to see if anything interesting is happening here. Yeah, it kind of looks kind of bearish here, so let me put a trend line there so we can take a gander at that later. So that's the high, right? This is the low, so we'll just find the next. Oh, look at that, perfect right there, almost 3 points. So, and nicely enough, this trend line happens to correspond with the cloud and the 50 moving average. So we'll see how well that holds there. The Qs down 13. Let's just take a quick look. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we've got a high. We've got a low. Now let's find that. Oh, look at that, 2 points right there, right through that. So this is good. This is actually getting a little bit closer to the trend line, and also at the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. So let's see if that holds that by the end of this this conversation here tonight. YM, cool, down 29. I don't really chart that too much, and the VIX is green. So yeah. So let's take a look at the SPX just overall for the see where we're at, the state of the market today. So basically. After a couple big green days, we had the first kind of down day today, so it was down about $6. Just to kind of zoom in here and just take a look. This is the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, you can see we had an inside month, right? Because this whole bar right here, right, the bottom wick went all the way down to that 2,300 level, and the top wick all the way up to 2,800. So this formed an inside bar here. And we opened kind of in the top of the range this month, and we broke that to the upside. We tried it a little bit earlier. It kind of came back in a little bit, and then we broke it, I think, pretty well just the other day, and then had 2 straight days up from there, and then we just pulled in a little bit off of the 10-minute or the 10-month moving average. You can see how those inside months work pretty well too. This was an inside month here, never broke to the upside, but it did break to the downside, and that was your 26.25 all the way down to 2,300. So if the market is getting catching a real bid here, the next target would be this 2,800 level. So we'll see if it can move another 70 points over the next couple days. If it doesn't, and it comes back in, then the high of this inside month would be another reference point here. So it's 27.0895, which would be a potential entry point to short if it wants to reclaim the inside month. So we have that. Weekly, still working its way up. It is kind of banging into the cloud top right here. So I don't know. We'll see again if it continues to take that inside month up. Great, it'll bust through there. If not, this might serve as some near-term resistance with the spinning top week that we have right here, and it might kind of drift back in. And if it takes that 27.16 level, that would start to reclaim the prior week's range. Daily, looks like we had mostly a spinning top, kind of doji, basically being resisted here by the daily 200 moving average, is kind of a significant level. 3 days in a row of touching the upper Bollinger Band, and now just kind of finding some resistance here. Kind of want to zoom in here a little bit. Been kind of exploring this on the 15-minute time frame, but we have we had a video the other night on congestion zones, and so yesterday I noticed there was some congestion that was starting right here, so I just sort of started the congestion zone area, and then interestingly enough, it broke out through it, came back in, came back and digested the congestion in this area here, and then finally broke to the downside yesterday. Came back in, broke through it, and then used that congestion zone as support, broke to the upside, and now today it was interesting. So today, we can get to catch this because I'm meeting all morning, but it kind of came in here, gave you inside a bearish harami, right inside the congestion zone, and as soon as that, this is one of, as you guys know, it's one of my favorite candlestick patterns to trade, especially on the 60-minute time frame. So basically inside 15 shooting star that breaks to the downside, and then boom, all the way down to the lower Bollinger Band today, and then a lot of consolidation in the congestion zone. So these 15-minute Bollinger Bands are kind of compressing here. So I would imagine sometime in the future that this is going to expand, right? Because every time you have contraction, it leads to expansion, and once it does that, then so here's like some contraction here, and then poof, and so we'll see how this kind of handles this area. Kind of overall, let's take a look at the daily chart with the bar charts. And so, as we know, we've had this ongoing channel here through 2018, and double top, impulsive wave down, A, B, C, wave 2. We thought this was wave 3, failed, right? We thought we were going to get like some sort of, wave 4 reversal here around 38.2. But notice how steep this incline is. That's for a one-way wave. It almost doesn't make sense. But now that we can count 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chances are this is a zigzag corrective pattern, and then we'll look to see an A, B, C down to get back to this wave B. So zigzag A, B, C down B, and then back up to C. So how far this B goes down, I'm not sure yet, but we'll take a look at right now. Futures are kind of down, so let's see if we get a few down days to maybe get an A, and then maybe a little bit of an up, trying to retest the low of the channel, and then back down to see if we get wave B. So to be told, but it's really hard to be bullish at this point after this huge impulsive move up. So of course you don't want FOMO and be like, hey, I missed it. If you really wanted it, there was some really key levels here on the weekly with RSI oversold and low Bollinger Bands. That was a good entry for those areas. If you were looking for a reversal, and but trying to go long now is really tough until you can see some sort of pullback. So hopefully we'll get that over the next couple days. So that kind of gets us up to speed with the market. Today, pretty simple stuff. I just wanted to talk about two things, and they've got some great tools, as you know, in Thinkorswim. And one of the tools I wanted to talk about today is your heat map. And all you do is you go to the top tab, and you go to you click on Market Watch. And then they've got all these other tabs up here, right? You can do it from the drop down, but they've got quotes, which is pretty cool. Maybe we'll do something on that one time. They've got alerts. That's where you plug in you can view all your alerts that you have. You can see I have a ton because when you operate on your cell phone during the day, it's hard to look at multiple charts. So you use your alerts to help you with that. And then you got visualize. So first, when you go to visualize, you click on this thing called visualization, and then and you click on heat map. Okay, so this is your heat map right here. So what we're looking at right now, I believe is a combination. This might be the actual S&P 500, but you can pick. Yeah, it looks like it is. So you can pick, what you want. So you can pick on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? So you get 30 stocks. You pick on the Nasdaq 100, so you get 100 stocks. The Russell 2000, so you get 2,000 stocks. S&P 100, 100, S&P 500, 500 stocks. Okay, and so what is this, right? This is kind of funky. You've probably seen this a bunch, and maybe you use it all the time. But it is a nice reference to see where money is flowing. If everything is red, chances are money is just flowing out of the market, and you might want to look somewhere else, like into bonds or some other alternative, maybe just cash or something like that. But yeah, or just look for good shorts, right? So that's one thing you can do is you can look by sector, right? So this shows you this sector here is information technology. So you've got Microsoft, Apple, right? So these are all kind of this group right here. Right, you got your healthcare stocks, you've got the horrible J&J and all these other horrible pharma companies in here. Communications, right? Remember Google switched to communications, which is a redesignation in the S&P 500 not too long ago. So this is no longer a tech stock; it's a communication stock, which is pretty interesting. Which might also explain why it's been acting really funny recently. But yeah, so communication stocks are down, and looks like Facebook's in there too. Twitter. Interesting how they're not information technology anymore, right? So you got your financials, right? Consumer staples. You got your Coke and Walmart and everything. Your energy stocks. You've got your your gas companies and materials companies, right? You've got a couple different chemicals like Dow, DuPont, Ecolab. Real estate stocks. You've got these type of tower and real estate income, some REIT type things. You get your utilities, right, and your industrials, your big Boeing, right. So this is a quick look at this will show you where the money is, right, where it's going, and where it's flowing out of. So when you see the red ones, these are areas that if you're looking to look for short setups, those are good sectors that you can go to. When you see the ones that are green, you can see like, hey, of all the technology stocks, the semiconductors are doing well. So you can go to those, right? And then you can do the same thing with your NASDAQ, right? Just kind of see where, everything was kind of flowing into, NVIDIA today and Texas Instruments and Micron, right? So so you could look for long setups in those areas. And that's how you use it to, kind of make decisions, or at least see where the money's going. If you're like, oh man, the stocks I normally trade, they're just kind of flat, nothing's happening. Well, what's everybody buying? Okay, well, they're buying over here, right? And so it's just a nice way to graphically see what it is. And you can also load your own personal watch list too. So you got my Bubblehead watch list here, and so just kind of a little bit of a consolidated list, and you can kind of see where the money is there. So just kind of in these little areas here. So Skyworks had earnings came out, and so they had a huge move today. If we go and just real quick, just look at the 15 orb on that, see how that behaved today. So that was interesting. So that was a reversal. Sorry guys. I was like, man, that's up really high for being down. So up 8 points. So there you go. There's your 50 super 15 orb right there. So huge move off of this one. At 3 points here. But if you went long right there at 85, you'd have caught 2 points right there. So that was a nice orb play. That's an ideal orb play right there, right? It works right away. You can move your stop to profit and then catch a nice run on it and good to go. So you can see that right there that's a great way is just by going to Market Watch and Visualize and looking and seeing what is moving. And so that's that. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is advanced decline lines. And instead of heat map, if you click on that and click index watch, right, you basically can pull up the S&P 500 as well. So I'm going to go to you just click the right here next to visualization. You click the watch list, and then you could scroll down and you could pick whichever one you want. Like you pick let's just pick the S&P 100. And what it does is it kind of takes that heat map, but it shows you in sort of graphical form, and also shows you some intensity. The heat map shows you by intensity of color. This shows you as like a bar chart, an intensity of percentage, right, of percentage of price of how much it's up. And so if you're looking for, a lot of times, sometimes you'll see markets where everything is red, but maybe one thing is green. And well, that one thing is green might be interesting, looking into seeing what's going on. Is there news? Is anything happening? If nothing's happening and everything else is red, you might be able to find a good short setup on that one and get a lot of extra movement on it. So that also helps you make decisions too. So just here real quick, if I scroll over this one, okay, so ALL was had a pretty good day today. BMY, so a couple of these health, kind of insurance type things. Charter, CL, Guild, right there you go. GM had a little bit. Here, Triple M, and then Texas Instruments, right? So it all kind of, and then you could look at what was, Google got beat up today after earnings. It's kind of interesting, right? We kind of expected Google to get some follow through after earnings, right? They actually had good earnings. They gapped down. They had a nice reversal yesterday, so you'd have thought that they would have got some extra push today, but they didn't. So that's something to take note of. Kind of like some relative weakness, but ultimately we have this channel that we've drawn in the pitchfork. So it looks like it's just kind of coming back and retesting the bottom of the channel. If that's the case and it gets to 11.10 or so and pivots down here, might be worth looking at long. Just to see if we can get that upside move. So that kind of shows you that. So the index, so you just go to Market Watch. You can either do index watch or heat map, and it's a great tool to use to look at to help make decisions, to find out where money's flowing and what stocks are having the biggest interest, right? And of course, the other thing, if you ever watch list up, another thing you do is look at, hey, what's green, right? What's red? And okay, so IBM's doing good, Boeing's doing good, but everything else is pretty red. So you kind of get that sentiment when everything's flashing red. That, hey, maybe it's not a very bullish day today. Maybe I'll look to find some short setup somewhere, right? And so to simplify everything, that's why I use the futures indicators, especially the spark charts, just to get the direction of where the futures are going. And if they're all pointing down, obviously we want to look for shorts. If they're pointing up, we want to look for long setups. So that kind of summarizes that. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, feel free to put those in the chat window. I do have a DM from AC. Everybody, prayers for him. He had, was having not feeling too well today, so this one's for him. So so we've got RL on the list, I believe. So Ralph Lauren. What do we have? So we had earnings yesterday. They had a beat on earnings, nice gap up, got through both of my clouds, and it's over the 200-day moving average, right? And you got a nice inside. This is a bullish Harami setup, right? This is your inside hammer, and so it looks pretty good for tomorrow. In fact, I'll put an alert up there just to watch to see if it does well. So it's to get some follow through there. So. And then I'll even put one on the downside just in case it gets really weak, and then the 200-day moving average fails, and a tail fail might work to try to start filling the gap. So tail fail, 200 DMA down. So I'm going to put those alerts on there. And so that good one there, AC. This is a nice setup. It is above. It's oversold and it's above the upper Bollinger Band. So we do look to either way for those to catch up, or this could be a potential reversal area. So if it turns out to be a hanging man and then drops down, then you can see where it can go. It can at least go to 122. It could potentially get down as low as 116 if it wants to reverse. The weekly looks really strong. Monthly so far pretty good. It needs some more power to get through the weekly clouds. So it would be nice if we get over 140. But this might be a good one to do a vertical on, just to if it pulls back and doesn't decides not to fill the gap, it might be one where you could at least test the 128 levels. AC also requested Overstock. Yeah, so I like Ralph Lauren. That looks pretty good. Overstock, let's see on the daily. So yeah, real nice. This is I love seeing when one pokes its head through the cloud like this, right? That just shows like some really bullish behavior. So I agree. I agree with your bullish sentiment on this one. So that was a nice push there. The only thing is it's at the upper Bollinger Band, so it might get some consolidation there. But I like how volume came in on this one today. So that's a really good thing too. It also gave you an inside 60 anchor to look at that. Look at that bar. That was impressive right there. Could you have caught that? Potentially. I mean, you had it would have been tough, but you did have a bullish Yorikiri bar here over the VWAP after I believe this is an inside 60. So you could have used that as potential entry with a stop there at 1809, and if whatever happened today, some news or something like that came in, and that was totally bullish. So that's when technical matches the news. And so it's great when you've just taken a regular setup and then boom, all the way up. So let's see what happened. Today, comments on the launch of T0's landmark digital securities trading platform. Okay. That was at 526. So I'm not sure what gave this thing a super boost, but that must have been nice if you were long right there. So we'll keep Overstock on the watch list too. So that looks pretty good. Okay, let's see what else we got, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Appreciate everybody joining in. Jordan, what's going on, my friend? Clayton, how's it going? Harvey, hey guys, still kicking. Good, Harvey. I'm glad you're doing well, man. Kyle, what's going on? Manoj, how are you? Good. JS, good to see you. Shirley, how are you? Always a pleasure. Manoj, what's going on? Google, CMG, and Boeing. So, so we just talked about Google going up the channel. CMG, thanks for bringing that up. That one on they had a beat on earnings, and never would have guessed it. With Nasty Burrito Company is almost $600, so pretty phenomenal. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the company itself. It is just a pure technical amazingness, right? I mean, just a couple months ago it was 400. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So up huge after hours. I think they had good earnings and everything. So so they crushed on earnings. So look to trade this on the 15-minute orb tomorrow, just to see what kind of follow through you could get. I think it's pretty much at all-time highs. I can't imagine it's been higher than this in the past. But let's just take a look. Yeah. Oh no! What? This thing was $700. When was this? Back in? Gosh, I just don't even pay attention to this company. I should, because it really does move. $758 for Nasty Burrito Company. Goodness gracious! never. I just always remember it being around 300, and of course it was every time I looked at it. But here it was around 300. I think at Christmas time. Now it's back up to $520 something, and now it's gapping up. So yeah, just look to see if there's any open gaps that it could be filling. It's too hard for me to see in this area with this crazy. Let me just go here to the daily, see if I can find one for you. So you're gapping up to, what did it say, 580. So let's see if there's any open gaps around that 580 area. Why did that do that? How many? Oh, did a year? That's it? That's a year? Okay, cool. Let's do 3 years. Still no. 5 years. Okay, cool. There is a gap up there, so let's see where it is. What we got here? Low 640. So so there's a gap there. Just looking here in this 580 range, see if there's any near gaps that could be filled off of some craziness. Don't see much. Everything is pretty good continuity all down there. So yeah, I mean, if it gets crazy, it could eventually work its way up to this 640 level. I'm not saying it's going to do it tomorrow, but it's definitely worth watching the 15 orb continuation to the upside. It might get magnetized to that level eventually. And let's see. So we looked at Google, and then of course Boeing. Boeing today. I mean, Boeing's just been super strong. Today, you could have watched it probably on the 30-minute orb. Didn't quite get the follow through that you'd normally expect, but it did drop a little bit off of that 30 orb there. Then really didn't kind of move, just real choppiness and all that stuff. I mean, yesterday, was a good one. That was an excellent long, and of course, they had the crazy earnings and all that stuff. So, so let's see. Nice consolidation. It might just be consolidating for a little bit and a little more breakout to the upside. But yeah, basically 415 all-time highs, but that was pre-market, so not officially recorded. So it might want to at least retest that at some point, and then possibly beyond. So it's definitely super bullish. So let's see if we get any follow-through on that. Yeah, I think Manoj, Google on the pullback, maybe pull back a little bit more to get to the bottom of that channel, then go long. CMG just 15 orb on that, and then Boeing, potential vertical spread to get back over 415. Mark, what's going on, man? Baidu. Let's take a look. You guys know I've been pretty bullish on Baidu, and had a nice pullback today. Why was I bullish on Baidu? Well, the reason is back here, it reached weekly oversold conditions and closed under the lower Bollinger Band for the first time in 2 years. Was it 2 years or was it 3 years? I thought it was 20. It was a long time ago. Hold on. Yeah, was that 20? Yeah, oh my goodness, it was 4 years ago. So last time RSI was oversold on Baidu was here, and it only closed once under the lower Bollinger Band, had a huge reversal off of that big dump right there, and then just launched over 100 points. So, over several weeks. But so this is good for me for a vertical spread at some point. I do think it'll at least eventually test this 200 moving average, so over 195. So the real entry was kind of like, possibly off of this hammer right here, and then a nice, just hold like a vertical spread, all the way up through, potentially April. But I think I had June on, one of my, let's see what we had. Yeah, I think the April. So if you do like a 195 spread on this one, by vertical. So it's $1.20 for a chance to make if it closes over that 380. So a good 1 to 3 risk reward on that one, but it's a long time to wait to April for that. But definitely worth a consideration on the trade. I prefer, if I'm going to go out long like that, I want to see a 1 to 10 risk reward. So, but in general, it's looking pretty bullish. So apparently they have earnings coming up on Valentine's Day. So, but I don't know, these Chinese stocks, like, they tend to like move their names. Like, I thought IQ is going to do it on the 31st and then the 6th, and now they're still waiting. But anyway, JS, what's going on? So let's see, AQMS. Let's see what that is. AQMS. Aquametals. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Nice little penny stock. Yeah, looking pretty strong. Let me do a fib fan on this one. Like that. Okay, I'm going to do a pitchfork as well. You know, yeah, looks very bullish to me. So just see how well it holds this pivot right here. Then if if you get breakout over 262, 270 or something like that, it might get another push up to this 287, and then get you up to that kind of that median line area. And then Vuzi, V-U-Z-I, was that right? Yeah, Vuzi. Okay, Vuzix. Yeah, I mean, looking like it's definitely downtrending. Let's see. We could draw a trend line on this one just to get an idea, right? We go here. Okay, no, next line's here. So there you go. So a little bit of downtrend, but I would look to short any snapbacks on this one. So see how it handles at 472. If it doesn't break out, looks like it would probably want to go a little bit lower on that. Manoj, SWKS. Yep, I think we just looked at that not too long ago. But yeah, I would do a 30-minute orb on this one tomorrow. So just watch that first 30-minute bar and see how it handles that, and use that for a point of reference tomorrow. But obviously very bullish, so see if we can get some follow through tomorrow. Tulasi, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Prayer Kid, what's going on, buddy? Matt. Oh, no problem, Matt. Kyle, what's going on, buddy? Tesla, let's take a look. Oh no, I get old Tesla. It's fun to get it when you nail it. So today was interesting. I think we had a 15-minute orb on this one. Make sure let me put that on the list too for tomorrow for 30-minute orbs as well, so we can see. So they apparently are able to do the the $35,000 vehicle, and everybody of course thought that would be like extremely bullish news, and I think it was gapping up, right? But if you use the 15-minute orb, you don't get caught up in all this craziness, and you wait for a break, right? So here, actually, and I want to do a little more in-depth orb kind of analysis here, but here, and Justin is actually the one who pointed this out, but he said, and it's good to see, we've talked about it a couple times, but if you get an inside 15 here after the 15-minute orb, right, that's much easier to trade off of than the orb itself, right? Because the orb itself here is $5.17, right? So if you're trying to take it long or short, that's a big stop, right? But this inside 15-minute bar is only 228, and on Tesla, that's not too bad. And so here, this inside bar, you just trade it like an inside bar. Did it break to the upside? No, but did it break to the downside? And the answer is yes. And your RSI is, kind of pointing down here. You're over the upper Bollinger Band here on the 15. So, these are kind of indicators that it might want to reverse. And then if you did that there, instead of going off the orb break, you'd have cut 321 all the way down to 315. So a nice 6-point move on Tesla. So you got to imagine on options that was pretty good, probably at least a double on that. So just using that inside 15 after the orb. So, and then after that, I just kind of chopped around for the rest of the day. So keep this in mind. If that 15 orb is big and it's too crazy to trade and you don't want to put a $5 stop on something, wait to see if that next bar gives you an inside bar, and then kind of look at what other technical characteristics you have. I do like to see which way the RSI is going on the 15, and I like to see that 15 bar to see if we're tagging or above or below one of the Bollinger Bands, right? So that's a nice little strategy to look at right there. So thanks for bringing that one up. Thanks for bringing that up, Kyle. Appreciate that. Winshu, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. Thoughts on IQ? Let's see. So IQ coming into earnings, right? Supposedly one of these days. Now, originally I was very bullish kind of around here, and I think I tweeted out not too long ago that I think it could get over 20, and it's already over 21. And you can see how strong this is now. I mean, it is just, like, look at this channel. Look at this channel. It's just traveling up this thing, no problem. Like up, down, just kind of really working its way up this channel. And now it's through the cloud, right? So the only thing that scares me about this now is that after this awesome move, and it's already hit my target, is that one, it does look good because Bollinger Bands are pointing up, but you did have this nice kind of red reversal bar at the upper BB, right? And then you're also getting almost oversold here on the RSI. So that's a good reversal indicator, right? So but it's in a bullish uptrend, and you can see this channel here serves as a good trend line. So it may pull back a little bit to like this $20.50, which is right at the cloud top too, and then at that point, it might just continue higher. So right now, earnings, I guess, are tentatively scheduled for the 12th, but we'll see. So yeah, I think I called this one long. You'd have to double check my tweets, but somewhere around here where it was like, maybe it was like 18 or so, like maybe it just broke through the 50 moving average. I can't remember, but I was like around here. I said I think it should get over 20. So hope that helps. And let's see, NetPray, what's going on, man? Great stuff. Let's see. So CMG. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so CMG is food paying. That's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so hopefully what I just explained there on the orb was helpful. So the 15-minute orb is your opening range bar. So all you do is after the first 15 minutes, right, you wait for that bar to close, and then you trade off of that bar, right? And typically I like to do it if it's something with some major news and it's gapping on that news. And that news can be earnings, it can be an upgrade or a downgrade from a major company, or it could be real news like, Papa John's, like, I don't know, coming out with the chocolate pizza and it, everybody loves it or something like that. So it's gapping up on that. So, but just in general, you can kind of see here, IQ, it gave its first 15-minute bar, right? Which is crazy because that's your opening crazy momentum, right? Well, now, the lines are drawn in the sand of where the bulls are defending and the bears are defending. And so if it ever breaks out of that area, chances are, right, that you're going to get some continuation. The bulls give up or the bears give up, and so you can get a nice follow through. And so here, this is an example. The first 15-minute bar, pretty big bar for IQ, 37 cents. And then the next one went inside bar, right, at the upper Bollinger Band and kind of came back in. And again, RSI is pointing down, so you take that inside bar to the downside here at 21.39, and you get some nice follow through here to 21.11. So on IQ, that's pretty good, right? So 21.39, 21.11. So you got, 28 cents, but, on 1,000 shares, you make $300 right there, right? So probably a little bit tougher to do on options, but still not such a bad move at all. So hopefully that makes a little more sense with the orbs. What's going on, Shirley? Okay, let's run through these. So BLL. Looking good, Shirley. So this has been working its way up the pitchfork, right? Remember, it kind of popped below it. Now it's kind of back up here. Nice pivot. And it's at that 53.47, so it looks like it could eventually, kind of, 1, 2, 3, its way up here to the 57 area. ALRM. Okay, remember it broke through the volumetric support area. Now it's looking, pretty strong. Let's go ahead and do a pitchfork. I like this. It's going to be very bullish. But I do like how it's working its way up here. So see if it can retest that 68 level before pivoting again. And if it breaks through there, then it's going to be super bullish. Then I'll take that median line and use it as support. AVGO. Very good. Got its way through the volumetric resistance, and then looks like it's kind of channel its way up here all the way to the mid pitchfork. And I'm just going to draw a little channel right here because it looks pretty nice. And so just see if it continues to work its way up that way. Hopefully it's not a bear flag. But so far so good. As long as it holds this 271 level and stays above the the median line, then it looks like it could eventually push its way up into the 290s. PCTY. Solid break up through volumetric resistance. Now it's kind of reached this congestion zone, if you will. Hello, rectangle. Ah! Over 82, 82, 50, 83, then you should eventually see it move back up to that 88. But it's possible it can consolidate here for a little bit, as long as it can hold that. So looks like it lost in earnings a little bit, but could give but it did hold up pretty well. So it might hang out in this congestion zone, maybe give you a dip below. Once it gets back in, then you take it long there over that 83 level. MUC and MAT. BlackRock Universal Holdings, California. That's kind of an interesting one with all the fires and stuff like that. But yeah, sort of like a semi cup and handle here, right at that volumetric level of 13. So 13 is that key number. If we can break that, it looks pretty good. But right now, again, it looks like a little bit of a congestion zone. And it makes sense. You can kind of see it here too with all the volumetric areas. So just see how well it holds this area. If it gets back above 1287, shot at 13, break at 13, get to this kind of congestion zone area there, and then work its way back up to those pivots. And Matt. Very interesting. So this is one of the. This is kind of showing a trend line. It's a little bit longer. I was originally working on a megaphone back here. So you can see here, this kind of trend line came down. Now it's serving as, before it was support, tomorrow aftermarket. So let's see if indeed it decides it wants to get out of this resistance and make it support with a shot to the upside, or if it proves that this is true resistance and brings it back down. So we shall see. Oh, with velocity, Amazon inside day. Very nice. Thank you for mentioning that. That is awesome. Rookie trader, let's look at SLB. Hold on, I gotta look at the inside day on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon's been funky. It hasn't been. I don't know. I was expecting a little more follow through from a lot of stuff today. Where's Amazon? Look, it's actually an outside day, so it's actually a bearish engulfing day today on Amazon. Maybe you're looking at a different time frame. But yeah, bearish engulfing right here. So that is this is actually pretty bearish for Amazon. I would, at this level, I would at least expect it to test the 1605 level, the 50 moving average. And if it can't get through there, or if it does get through there, then next is the mid Bollinger Band, 1596, and then your cloud top here at 1576. So that's very interesting right there. That's a very bearish setup. Rookie trader, let's take a look at SLB. And I think it'll be about bedtime. So, oh yeah, Schlumberger. This actually popped up on a scanner I did this weekend, and I can't remember if it was like a double inside day or something like that. But I was like, this is slob. They call it that for a reason. It is a little slow moving one that is just tough. But I mean, if you can catch it, it could go. It might slowly drift its way here and then work its way out the cloud and then maybe go. So it might have a couple days in it too. Watch out, it's got dividends coming up too. So yeah, the slob's not very exciting. If anything, what it's doing, I believe, right, so we have here, I mean, it definitely looks like still, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, maybe this is a wave 4. Then could do a 5 down. It's tough to say, but like most of the oil stocks, it did have a nice reversal here. I just have to see how well it holds it. If it gets below 41.80, that's definitely going down. But if it can break out of this little consolidation pattern, it might get a breakout to the upside. So, and Shirley, let's do RF, and then after that, let's get a good night's sleep, so we can be rested and trade tomorrow. Okay, this looks very similar to the last one that we were looking at here, but let's look at let's see if we can do a little trend line on this. 1999. Okay, so here, based on our trend line strategy, so nice pivot here, right? Kind of broke through a little bit, kind of came back down, retested it. So this is actually pretty good. This volumetric level is a validated breakout point, not only for volumetric but also from the just the chart itself. So look to see if this gets over that 1580, and if it could do that, it looks like it at least retest this 1680. You might get a point off of that one. So nice chart on that one, Shirley. Netfree, thanks man. Always appreciate all your input. Great stuff as always on Twitter. And yeah, 1725. That's a definite possibility, Shirley. Yeah, so thank you guys. Hope you guys have a great evening, great trading day tomorrow. Remember, minimize any losses and always preserve your profits, and always think risk first before you enter into a trade. And have a great night, and I will tweet at you guys tomorrow. I'll put a game plan out and review the $50,000 challenge, and I'll tweet out any ideas that I see going on tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll chat with you tomorrow night. All right, talk to you guys later.